Hello fellow kaiju fans and kaiju collectors, I'm here for my next Godzilla figure review. Yes, I'm finally doing some more figure reviews now. And as you can see today, what we're going to be taking a look at is the NECA 1984 Godzilla. Now, for those of you that think that I'm going to come here and rant about the figure, I'm not. In fact, I'm very thrilled with this figure for what it is. I'm not one of those Godzilla nuts that's like, oh, this isn't the good 1984 figure because it doesn't look like him and all that other crap. It must look exactly like him. We have to have X plus quality. No, I'm not one of those people. And I'm not one of those people that obsesses that Monster Arts is the end-all be-all. In fact, I don't really think that it is. I'm fine with my NECA figures because, for one, I'm a collector that's just getting back into a fandom that I was in years ago, and I'm trying to revive those days almost, get back into the Godzilla collecting fandom. And I don't want to start right off by buying figures that are $200 and $300. No, I want to get price efficient, price savvy figures like this one, like the 1994 Godzilla, and like the 2014 Godzilla. These are the figures that I like. And of course, as all of you know, this was a very controversial figure when it came out, or when the prototype was initially released. Well, the prototype, when the images were leaked onto the internet, people, I remember going on NECA's page and seeing all the backlash from people. I was one of the people, though. I was like, this figure doesn't look right. And it didn't. It looked terrible. Because it was like, the pictures from, what was it? I think it was Comic-Con or some sort of figure convention. It was like lime green, and it had a weird face. We all know the weird face, which people started parodying as a Gabara figure. If they ever wanted to make one of those, they could make a Gabara figure, which would also mark the very first time NECA ever made a foe of Godzilla, because all we've gotten right now are the different suits of Godzilla. I hope that if they do any of the suits, these are like the three big suits that I want to see done. I want the 1974 suit, the 1964 suit, and the 1962 suit. Well, the 68 suit as well. So those are the big four that I want to see. Because the 1964 suit I've taken a big liking to recently, because I've been watching, the 1964, the only two 1964 films that suit was featured in, which were Mothra vs. Godzilla and Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. I've taken a huge liking towards those movies, and the suits as well. And then the 1962 suit, while I may not be the biggest fan of King Kong vs. Godzilla, I still like the design of the 62 suit. I honestly think that that's a great Godzilla suit. Now, as for this figure, and then the 1974 suit, of course, because, well, that's my favorite Godzilla suit, and it's from my favorite Godzilla movie, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, which, I actually have something relating to the 1974 suit, which I will be reviewing next, so, yeah. That's why I'm sort of holding off to doing the collection videos right now, because I want to review some stuff before I go out and do that, so you're not getting all these requests, or so I'm not getting flooded with requests. Not that I don't mind requests, I mean, I will do them, but just don't take advantage of it and be like, oh, review this Monster Arts Kiryu figure. I don't even have the Kiryu figure. I don't even have a Kiryu figure at all. I did have a 12-inch, but I traded it, of course. But, onto this figure. Now, while this may not be a perfect figure, I actually kind of like it. I really kind of like this Godzilla figure. And you guys are probably all like, why? This isn't a perfect Godzilla figure, and this isn't even close to the 1984 suit. For NECA, this is better than what the prototype was. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be like 1954 Godzilla quality in terms of the sculpt, because to me that's by far their best sculpt yet, at least from the pictures I've seen. But this is a very good figure as it is, and for Godzilla collectors that are just getting into collecting or want a very price-savvy figure, this is the one that you got to go with, or that you might want to go with instead of the the memorial box of the Yuji Sakai X Plus figure. Unless, of course, you want to try to track down one of the Yuji Sakai, what are they, dioramas. I still want to get more of those. I love those dioramas. I absolutely love them. I don't know what. There's something about them I like. Okay, enough rambling, because this is going to take like a 10-minute review. Now, the sculpt. As for the face is nicely sculpted, very nicely sculpted. Looks better than what we originally got. Mine does have a little bit of a paint drip of pink right there, but oh well. But then we get some nice detailing in the mouth. Yeah. And then the eyes are correct. They've got those derp eyes like you saw in the movie. The chest is nicely detailed, although I do think he is a little bit on the thin side, but that's a minor gripe. And then we got the arms. I did manage to position these just right so they are shorter arms and everything, because for the longest time I could only get them into like the long arms, and it didn't seem right. Whereas with this, with the short arms, this seems right. Now let me see if I can position them. No, I can't position the hands just right. This doesn't have the same kind of hands like the 1994 does. But then you got some very thick thighs right there, almost going into like these really skinny legs, and then the feet themselves. I honestly really like the detailing on this figure. And this figure actually doesn't have a smooth tail on the bottom. This has the rough tail like it was in the movie. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. The spines are a little bit on the thin side, of course, compared to... Hang on. Let me try to pull out my 1994 figure. Yeah, so compared to the 94 figure, these are on the thin side, but that's a minor gripe. And they are a little bit small compared to the 94 figure and the Memorial Box figures and everything, but I'm not really too worried about that. I'm just glad I got a 1984 figure. This was like the Godzilla suit that I wanted. So, yeah, because I really like this suit. Probably one of my top 5 favorite Godzilla suits. And these are a little bit more flimsy than the other ones, but oh well. And then the tail is a little bit short, but oh well, that's minor. But pretty much all the Godzillas have short tails. Even this guy has a short tail. I mean, his is a little bit longer, just a tad bit longer than the 1984 figure, but that's a minor gripe. But I still do like this figure for what it is. Now, articulation, because that was sculpted in detail. Articulation. His jaw does open and close, as you saw. Yeah, so that's really nice. The head does rotate 360 and will move up, so if you wanted to have him looking up in the sky or looking up and blasting a plane out of the sky in a diorama, then that works perfectly. The neck, he does rotate at the neck, which is also a nice little touch. We do get some rotation in the elbow. It can go in and out. And then also 360. And then you also get the elbows. I'm not going to bend those because I don't want to lose this position with the short arms. For some reason this one won't stay locked in a short arm position. And then the hands do rotate a little bit. Not much, though. He does move at the waist, not much, of course, but he does move. You can see now he's like in this upright position as opposed to the hunched over position like he has. The legs do rotate. There is a socket at the knees, which really doesn't bend at all. It's not much, so it's really a pointless joint. But the feet do move as well, and we do get rotation in the tail, and I believe 3 points. So we get one here, well, one here, one here, one there, right there, and then the other one is at, yeah, so let me just focus this and see if you can see that. Hang on, let me try and brighten the image. I have to try and brighten this as best I can. Yeah, so you do get rotation, articulation there, at that joint, that, and then that joint right there. So the tail does have some articulation. This is, again, a wired tail, so I wouldn't recommend exactly bending this all the time, because chances are one day you're going to go to bend it, the thing's going to snap, and your tail is going to be useless. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. And as for sizing, since he appeared on his own, though, and for shits and giggles, I will size him up with the 1994 figure, since that is the only other Heisei Godzilla that I have in terms of a NECA figure. So, yeah. Now, I believe this is just about correct. If not, the 1994 figure, then, or the 1994 suit should probably be up to about here. I don't know. I'd have to check. But all in all, this is a very good figure. I highly recommend it as far as Godzilla figures go, especially to a fan that's just getting their started collecting, or if you're just getting back into collecting like I am. This would be a very good figure if you want to own a 1984 figure. So yeah, I would highly recommend this, and yeah, and I will be doing a channel update sometime in the near future. I don't know when, but hopefully very soon, probably within the next couple of days. I'm going to try to upload the reviews for the Millennium series, and then we will be done with the Godzilla movie series for now, until 2016 comes out and until I get the Godzilla movies on Blu-ray. Then we're back into it all over again. Yeah, it's taken me 3 months just to get to this point. Well, 2 months actually. Sorry about that. I'm trying to reposition the camera. But yeah, it's taken me quite a while to get back into this. But yeah, so we're back into it. And yeah, so I guess I'll see you guys for my next review. So